The idea of more is everywhere. Earn more, save more, buy more, upgrade more. It rarely pauses long enough to ask a quieter question. How much is enough? For many people, enough is undefined. And when enough is undefined, pressure becomes constant. Comparison fills the space. Someone always earns more, owns more, achieves more. Without a clear definition of enough, progress never feels sufficient. But enough is not about settling. It is about clarity. Welcome to Quiet Money Channel, a place to learn financial wisdom, where money is approached calmly, intentionally, with a long-term perspective. This video is to educate without pressure and guide without judgment. We live in a world built on comparison. It is a fundamental part of our social wiring, but today it is amplified. Friends and colleagues talk about their recent pay raises, their new cars, their exotic vacations. Advertisements paint perfect lives. We learn to measure our worth against others. There will always be someone richer, with a bigger house, a more impressive title. Comparison creates a moving goalpost. You get a raise. Satisfaction evaporates when someone gets more. The goal moves again. That kind of continuous striving is deeply tiring. It can make sleep light and your thoughts anxious. The only way to step off this treadmill is to consciously decide not to run. Turn your gaze away from others and back to your values and your own definition of a life well lived. There is a real, tangible cost to keeping the idea of enough vague. This cost is not measured in dollars and cents, but in our emotional and psychological well-being. We can feel objectively wealthy, yet subjectively poor. We can accumulate more than we ever thought possible and still feel scarcity. The hunger for more, when left unchecked, creates a low-level anxiety that colors life. We miss sunsets, conversations, quiet moments with a book, because our minds chase the next big thing. We trade precious time now for the abstract idea of future security. In truth, real security comes more from clarity than from raw numbers. Not knowing breeds instability. Knowing you have enough brings stability. Recognizing the hidden cost is the first step toward a different choice. The word enough often carries a negative connotation: settling, lack of ambition, giving up. But this is a misunderstanding. Defining enough is not a cage. It is a solid foundation from which you can live with intention and clarity, deciding what game you are playing. When you know what is sufficient for well-being, you are no longer pulled by external pressures. You gain control over your definition of success, a quiet, unshakable freedom. Think of enough as a tool for clarity, not restriction, but intention, not limiting your future, but liberating your present. Enough isn't giving up, it's protecting what you value most. Defining enough builds a fortress around your peace of mind, a shift from accumulation to intention, the quiet, powerful choice to live on your own terms. Money is a tool. It is not good or bad in itself. Its purpose is to serve your life, not to define it. Define how much income is enough by naming what you need money to do. Needs: housing, utilities, food, transportation, basic healthcare, the foundation of your financial life. Next layer: paying off debts, saving for retirement, building an emergency fund, education savings. Assign numbers. Income becomes a practical plan. You fund specific, meaningful goals. Once needs and security are covered, the rest, travel, hobbies, dining out, lifestyle, are optional comforts. Know your baseline for enough. Any income above that line is a bonus, not a necessity. This clarity frees you from chasing endless raises. You can weigh balance, fulfillment, culture, and commute. Defining enough isn't earning less. It is knowing your target, so you can stop running once you've hit it. Lifestyle is about how you choose to live your days, the texture of your daily existence. Define enough in your lifestyle by aligning choices with your values and desire for calm. Do you thrive on social energy or find restoration in quiet evenings at home? High-stakes city job commute or peace of working closer to home? There is no right answer. It might mean choosing a smaller home in a walkable neighborhood over a larger house with a long commute. It might mean capping hours to protect evenings for family, hobbies, and rest. Unsubscribe from temptations. Curate your feeds. More inspiration, less comparison. A walk in the park, a home-cooked meal, an uninterrupted conversation. A life designed around your own definition of enough feels authentic and content. Defining enough in finances and lifestyle is not about planning every minute and every dollar. It is about creating margin, the space between your limits and your load. A jar filled to the brim spills with the slightest disruption. A jar with space can accommodate more and be shaken without spilling. In money, margin is savings after bills. In time, it is unscheduled hours in your week. Margin acts as a shock absorber, handling surprises without crisis. With margin, a repair or bill is an inconvenience, not a disaster. It grants options, walking away from toxicity, saying yes to meaningful opportunities. Margin in time allows spontaneity, rest, and connection. It isn't wasted space. It enables a rich, unhurried, peaceful life. Finding your personal definition of enough is a slow, gentle process built on small, deliberate steps. Create space for reflection. Ask, what matters most to me? Write the first few answers. Financial security, time with family, creative expression, physical health. This list becomes your compass. Turn intention into a concrete goal. Save 15%. No work email after 6 p.m. Live with it. Notice how it feels. Be kind. Adjust. Goal. Balance, not perfection. Practice saying no to what breaks your rule, and a firm yes to what fits your intentional life. This approach slows the rush and makes room for genuine, thoughtful change. When you define what is enough for you, your definition of success shifts. Income, house size, job title, follower count, metrics of endless growth. That game is unwinnable. Defining enough lets you step off and create your own scorecard. You measure by fit, how well life aligns with your core values. Count evenings with family, quiet mornings for reading and thinking. Measure steady, consistent savings, not for a number's sake, but for peace of mind. Track sleep, physical energy, small acts of kindness, deeply connected to well-being. The long view is steady and patient. Small habits compound over time. True success is the quiet, cumulative result of a life lived with intention. The journey to define enough is a quiet rebellion. It is a conscious choice to step away from relentless pressure and to turn inward. Not deprivation, but clarity and empowerment. When you see someone with more, pause and ask, does that align with my values? Is that a trade I will make? More often than not, the answer will be a calm and confident no. A good definition is like a garden trellis, not a steel cage. Enough for a young professional, a parent, and someone nearing retirement will differ. Revisit and update as needs, values, and joys evolve. At first, turning down more or leaving on time may spark fear of missing out. Over time, that fear fades. Calm begins to grow. You notice small pleasures again. You feel steadier, more grounded, more present. Remember, enough is clarity, not a cage. It is a light you hold to illuminate your path. It is a steady hand on your shoulder when the world hurries you past what matters. If this video helped, please subscribe and share. Thank you for watching.